Hi, Joe Cerrone with our video on how to model the components for this bench vise. You can get the bench vise components by double-clicking or by clicking on this link right here. And I've made videos for a number of components. Today I'm going to make a video for the screw bar and the bar globes. So as we take a look at the screw bar, this is a metric drawing. It's 104 millimeters long with a diameter of 4 and 6 millimeters. There's a couple of different ways that we can make this. We can either make this as a revolve and draw half of the components, or we could go and just stack up the components one on top of another. And I think I'm kind of inclined to do it as a revolve. So let's get started. We're going to go to SolidWorks, and I'm going to start a new file, new part. I'm going to OK that. And I'm going to get rid of this little swatch here, plain white. We're going to go to millimeters. And then we're going to take a look at our component here. And we're going to be working on the screw bar. And so we'll draw that on the top plane. We'll start a sketch. We'll create a center line. And we'll make that center line just over 100 with a horizontal constraint. And then what we'll do is we'll go through and create the geometry for that. And it's not a real big component, so this would be like around 2. I try to make them somewhat in perspective. We'll hit escape on that. Then we'll go through and we'll start. Let's make this 10. And we'll make this one 10. And in the middle, we'll make this 104. We'll set up our diameter values of 4. We'll put a diameter symbol in front of that. Since we're on the other side of the center line, it's a diameter dimension. And we'll do another one that's going to be 6. Again, we'll add the diameter dimension. And we need to do the same on this end here. Okay, our part is fully defined in our sketch. So we'll green check mark this, and then we'll revolve it. And we'll revolve it around the center line. We'll go 360, we'll say OK, and then we'll save this as screw bar. All right, now that we have that component, we can insert it into our assembly. So we'll go to our assembly, and here's our assembly. We've got a screw bar in there already. As we look at this, we can start to make some of the mates for it. So if I bring this out here like this, and then if we want to go through and add another mate, I can go through. I like to go under View, Hide and Show, make sure that the axes and the temporary axes are shown so that we can mate to those things. And then if we mate from this temporary axis right here to the temporary axes, I know we have one here. Great. And then we'll go through and we'll mate this also, and we'll mate from the end of this part to the end, and we'll update this a little bit. And so as we're looking at that, you can see that it's not exactly in the middle, and so we're going to offset that just a little bit. And so we'll say, let's say 0.5, let's say 0.05, and then we could say 0.04, 0.055, 0.06, and that looks about right as far as that goes, being in the center. We could probably tweak that a little bit more, but that's close enough for our purposes right now. And so now that we have that mated in there, let's go back to a display style where we can see everything. Very good. And then we have these other bars. I'm going to take this one out, and I'm going to insert my other component. So here's my new screw bar. I'll open that, and then I'll drop it right here, and then I'll go through and set that one up to be able to mate that as well. And so we'll go through and we'll say mate, and we'll go from here to here, mate that to our temporary axes, and then we can go and we can push that up a little bit and say green check mark. And we can set that up. All right, so that completes our video on how to create the screw bar and to put a basic mate in for that. I'm going to save this component. And that completes this video.